Welcome back to the Wayward Baker. We are at Holly Point Campgrounds here in North Carolina. I am going to attempt to bake at our campsite, and we're going to see how it goes. I'm attempting to make sourdough discard hot dog buns. We're having hot dogs tonight, hopefully. I have not talked about this on my channel yet, but I do have a sourdough starter called Eastwood Mac. I have already started the process of making the buns because I needed to warm up the milk. This is a recipe I found online. I'll link the recipe down below because it is not mine. Pretty simple ingredients, which I really love, is sourdough discard, warm milk, which I'm using almond milk, salt, active dry yeast because I'm using a discard, butter, which I'll be using plant-based, and bread flour and sugar. So this recipe we're gonna attempt to make outdoors. So in this pot I've warmed up the almond milk, the sourdough discard, the yeast, and the sugar to get it nice and bubbly and active. Next up, I will be adding in bread flour, which is right here. Once I have that fully kneaded, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of softened butter and a teaspoon of salt. This looks great. It's nice and bubbly and fizzy, which means that the yeast I did not murder with the almond milk. Proud of myself. So now we're going to add in the flour. I was going to use a gallon bag, but I think I'm going to just attempt to do it in this pot because if I look at the proportions, I think I can add all this and not make a terrible mess, and then I can knead in a minute. This is 420 grams of bread flour. I'll do all the measurements below, but basically I weigh anything I make with sourdough in grams. I don't measure, but I weigh with the scale, so I pre-measured all this at home. I have about a cup of sourdough discard, which I'll put the grams on the screen. I did a teaspoon of active dry yeast, 40 grams of granulated sugar, and a full mason jar. So this is about a cup of almond milk. So I put all that in here, let it rise, and then again, this is 420 grams of bread flour, 419 grams of bread flour, and I'm gonna just do about half and then mix and do the rest. Really love having a sourdough starter. I've attempted one before, but I made it from scratch and it did not go quite well. This one I ordered online from King Arthur Flour, which is a brand I absolutely love, and they shipped it like live as like a live starter, and then I started feeding it and maintaining it. I think I got that, I'm gonna say like a couple days after Christmas. It's actually, now that I have like a healthy starter that I did not attempt to make on my own, it's been really easy to feed and maintain. I use the discard once I feed it. I use the discard all the time for things like sandwich bread, made cereal, pancakes, tortillas, like flour tortillas. So I've done like quite a few recipes with just discard, because you do make quite a bit of it when you originally start out feeding your sourdough. So I'm just going to keep adding this until it is consistency I like. And you know what I didn't think about is if this was too wet. I don't have any extra flour. Watch me break this spoon. Oh, there's dirt in my shoe now. Missy, what are you doing? Gee, look at her. Look at her. Pine needles sticking out of her mouth, or something. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour in this bag and not make a mess. Wise. I'm going to just start with flour, and then I'm going to add the rest of this dough in here. I could have done this to begin with, but the milk was so warm that I was worried about melting the bag. So, plop it. It's pretty smooth. I'll get as much dough out of this so we don't have to clean it later. Do we need this for later? this for later. Okay, I'm gonna knead in the bag. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of butter, softened, which is dairy free, so it's never really hard to begin with. I'm gonna just break it up before I toss it in here. It'll be easier to mesh. And then go ahead and add the salt in here now because I don't want to do this later. Teaspoon of salt. Yeet. It's a professional baking term. Now we're gonna knead the butter and salt into the dough. Now do that and be right back. Okay, mix the dough. I have set it down next to the fire. We're gonna get this fire going, get some ashes or coals or whatever you want to call it. And I have the dough next to the ring to hopefully warm it up as the fire burns. So we're gonna take some time to finish setting up the inside of our tent. That way we can enjoy the rest of the evening.
Simple log cabin today.
Okay.
Makes it easier. And the pit's a little bit wet, so I gotta deal with that. So just breaking up some of this birch because it makes it a little easier to get it going. We are by no means professionals. We just enjoy doing this.
Amen. What you doing?
Nothing, Mom. Not eating your tinder.
We do have a little bit of fire started here. It really helps it take off. I think we've been using the same brick for a while now. And then trying true
Is that dry
survival
relent?
method. Yeah. Leftover dry relent. Instead of just throwing it away, it takes off pretty fast. All right.
You think twigs are like beef jerky for dogs?
Probably. So I've had these matches forever. I don't know if it actually works.
You're gonna find out.
It's mostly just the striker.
Yeah. Oh, bam.
Now we wait.
Okay. Okay. Dough is doubled. Look at this beauty. We let it proof by the fire for like a little over an hour. I think it is good to go. I am going to split this into 8 balls. And then they're gonna proof for a little bit longer. Now that we're done with this bag, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it open. Oh, she's sticky. I'm just pinching these just like you would like a sourdough. Kind of pinching the bottom. So it's like everything's kind of collecting at the bottom of the bun. And we're probably gonna use the rest of this flour in all of these just to like help with the stickiness because that butter has melted quite a bit. These feel great though. Like it's a really nice texture. I'm gonna just massage a little bit, get it smooth, make sure it's all good, and then pinch together. like so. We have a sweet potato cut up and we're baking that over the campfire right now while I do a final proof on these, and then our last thing will be hot dogs technically. And since I'm not at home and I am not fancy enough to have a scale in my camping gear, I've just guesstimated these. There are going to be a couple, like the corners, that are going to be just a teeny bit smaller than the inside ones, and that's okay. We're gonna let these proof for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna put them back over by the fire like I did before and let them warm up, and then we'll shake them and bake them. These have been proofing for about 30 minutes. You see they've gained quite a bit of volume. So we talked, we're gonna try 2 different things. I'm gonna try hot dog buns, and then I'm gonna try pigs in a blanket with half of the dough, because we can't bake all 8 buns in here at the same time, but we don't want to run out of coals. I'm gonna do 4 buns in here and then 4 pigs in a blanket. I was just, in my head, was like, do, 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 do. Okay, so we're gonna press these out. And just do like smaller ones. They're not gonna be huge. I do like that, and then get, oh no, not the hot dog juice. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and fold up the ends just a little bit. You cannot see. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna like roll it, just like a pig in a blanket. I'm gonna pinch the ends, pinch the bottom. You can kind of see that. Bam. I'm gonna just do that. We're gonna test it. This is crazy. It's either gonna be delicious or terrible. Do we follow the rules here? No. Are there rules? Nah, yeah. I mean, there's some rules. Don't light the forest on fire, but that's about it. When it comes to food,
Yeah.
oh, you can make whatever you want. Bam. I'm gonna just tuck these in, just ever so slightly. They're not gonna, I'm not flipping these, so they don't need to be like super tight, like this seal. I'm gonna just do double and fold. Give it like a little ventilation. Cool. These are ready to go. And then I'm gonna shape these into like bun, kind of bun shaped. It's about 7 inches long. So we'll just do, I'll let the gravity do its work. It's fine, I wiped that down before I saw earlier. Okay, we're gonna try it. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
One eternity later.
Oh, I smell dough. Baked dough, hopefully. Oh my god. These might actually bake. Oh yeah, a little dark on the bottom. Oopsie daisy.
Give them a flip, pop them back in.
Yeah, but less, like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it does not need much longer.
Yeah, these coals are ripping.
Holy crap. Okay. Okay. I was not expecting that, to be honest with you. Like, maybe not even 10 minutes. So I'm gonna just toss them back in. And then I just take these.
I would rotate those.
Huh?
I would just rotate that pan. A little black on bottom, but they look like rolls.
They do. They're still a little bit doughy, but maybe like 3 more minutes.
Yeah, if I have them on their other side.
Okay. Results. Hideous AF. But not bad. A little burnt. But it's bread. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna taste this one. A little hot. A little hot.
Should have waited. Mmm.
They're baked.
Yep. How is it?
Okay. That's a hot dog bun.
On a scale of 1 The hot diggity dog.
Oh, damn. Hot diggity dang.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the actual buns in the coals now, and then we can enjoy our pigs in a blanket.
And our sweet potato.
And our sweet tater. So we're gonna enjoy dinner in the dark. No!
No, yam down.
No!
Yam down.
No!
There's something about when you're camping and you make food here instead of like in your kitchen at home that makes it more rewarding. And I don't know what that is, but it's a mood.
Don't look at me.
I'm hideous.
Idiots. What?
I gotta start. Ready?
Okay. Dink it, sink it. That's delicious. Good morning. It's early. What time is it? Oh, it's not early. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a very cold night. It got too dark to film the rest of the hot dog buns, but I was just going to show you what happened while we were trying to get ready for bed, get our stuff in the tent, and wrap things up and clean up. Might have let the buns go a little too long, so they got burnt. However, they did bake up well, so I'm going to show you. Ta-da. They got pretty burnt, especially on the bottom. This was the last side. I flipped it and then got in the tent to take care of Ember and then forgot about them for a minute, and that was just like, it was like 3 minutes too long. So they did bake though, and I would say that had we not left them, these would have turned out fine. I think we just should have sat there and watched them instead of stepping away for a minute to clean up. I'm so warm. So this morning, we're gonna attempt a second recipe. This is not a camping recipe. It's just one I found online somewhere. I don't even remember where. New York Times, something like that. Anyway, called custard oats. Basically, I'm gonna start by making oatmeal. So water is probably boiling as much as it can, the stove. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the oats and let it start to cook. These are old-fashioned rolled oats, not the quick oats. That is important. Okay, so this is cooked down. In my opinion, perfect oatmeal consistency, but we're not done yet. I'm gonna add it in. This is a double batch, so I'm gonna add in 2/3 cup of cold water. My flame is still on low. And then I'm gonna take these 2 eggs and whisk them into this measuring cup. And what this does is that the cold water cools down the oatmeal just a little bit, because we don't want our eggs scrambling as soon as they hit this hot oatmeal. Okay, so I'm just whisking this so the whites and yolks kind of get, you know, whatever the heck they call this besides whisked. Is there another word for whisk? I don't know if there's another word for whisk. I'm gonna whisk vigorously while I'm pouring in these oats so they don't scramble while I'm stirring them. And this is how you make custard, like IRL. I mean, I guess if it did become scrambled egg and oatmeal, that's fine, but it'd probably be a very weird texture and kind of gross, so. I'm gonna let this cook for about 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, look how creamy that is. It's delicious. And then once it's ready, we're gonna add some toppings. Okay, the custard oatmeal is done. It is thick and creamy. It looks really good. It smells really good too. It smells like bread pudding, which that tracks. So I'm gonna pour some into this bowl. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter, just a little bit, just like I would oatmeal. Maybe not as much because it's got eggs in it already, so it's already creamy. Boop. And I'm gonna add a little bit of, this is homemade vanilla cinnamon sugar. So I've made this with my own, with vanilla beans that I used for making my own vanilla extract. And I'm just gonna take a pinch and sprinkle it on top. Do a little bit more. I'm cold and hungry. And then last, some blueberries. And these are just frozen blueberries that we brought with us for this purpose. Okay, and then can't breakfast. It smells really good. I'm gonna give it a good stir. That's good. It's creamy. Super creamy. I think a little bit more sugar would suffice because I only did a couple pinchfuls, but it is really creamy, really warm, and perfect on this very cold winter morning out here at Holly Point Campgrounds. We'll check in a bit.
All right, so we're about to head out. We got most of the stuff packed up. Just doing the last couple minute things here. Shove it in the back of the Jeep. We'll give the campsite one more once over, make sure we got all the garbage. You know, the old Boy Scout motto, leave things better than the way you found it. Leave no trace. So we'll do that. I'm gonna douse the fire one more time. It should be good. It hasn't really been burned much this morning. Better safe than sorry, especially with all the forest fires that are happening over in California right now. We don't need here in North Carolina. Make sure you break up the coals, make sure you got everything. And any garbage you find. A nice, clean campsite.
You got this, girl.
Just gotta ditch the dog poop in the garbage can before we leave.
We're headed home. It was a
little colder than expected.
colder than we thought it was gonna be, but it was still it was enjoyable. I slept better than I thought I was going to, especially because I was cold most of the night. Kept waking up, but I don't feel tired, which is shocking, honestly. But we're headed home. Gonna unload and put on some warm clothes, and hope that the feeling comes back in my toes. And we got a little Ember right back here. She's just, oh, there she is. She just buckled up. And we will see you next time.